Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Well, I mean, one group of people lost, like, gained nothing.
So you chose ally, huh?
Yeah. Quark is sick, a kid, and unable to move.
Vote.
Oh, vote. But, I mean, move either.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring myself to betray someone like that.
Thank you.
No need to thank me. I did it in another timeline and it didn't work out well.
I have time travel powers. I am the Undertale.
I only did what anyone would have. Except for Alice.
Alice and Kay and Dio.
Jesus Christ, I fucking hate all of them. So you guys chose Ally too, huh? Fee?
Of course.
Yeah, I bet.
Tenmyoji had only 1 BP left, and he was guaranteed to vote ally. So there's no way we could betray somebody in that position. If we had, then he'd...
Luna's the only person I believe. I can't wait to find out that she's Zero.
Yeah, I didn't have much choice.
Is Luna gonna be Zero?
Yes, she is.
She's the villain this whole time.
Well, I mean, isn't that how, like, most of these Japanese
That's
games
what we were
go?
like.
It's always a subversion.
Last time we were like, you know, the one person I trust, Ace. That didn't pan out at all.
No, it did though. Ace wasn't Zero.
It wasn't Zero, no, but he also wasn't.
You know who was Zero?
He was a murderer.
Yeah, but you know who was Zero? The kind, innocent girl who was very sheepish and didn't really talk much.
Yeah. Well, no.
Do you know who the?
No, she wasn't Zero. Santa was Zero.
Well, no, Santa was the one who picked them up.
Wasn't Santa Zero because he was running the whole game because she wasn't really there?
That's
Isn't that how this works? I don't know. It's really, it doesn't make sense even when you write about, even if you're correct about what the story was, it doesn't make sense.
No, because remember,
so it's really hard to sort out which part was the real one.
The story said that both Santa and Akane are on the run because of their involvement in the Nonary game.
I'm gonna be totally honest. I give up.
Okay. Alice, Kay, and Dio, on the other hand, seem to have had a less pleasant round.
Hey.
There it is.
Hey, what?
What the hell is your problem?
You pressed it,
You
too.
literally pressed betray as well.
You pressed it.
You're either crazy or just an asshole. Were you trying to kill me?
Oh my god, this
No, nothing like that.
fucking bitch.
Well, then what was it like? If we'd voted ally,
You would be dead. The needles in your bracelet would have activated, killing you.
Then why did you
Thank
vote
you for
betray?
explaining that, Kay.
Why?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't think there was any way in hell you guys would choose ally, not with Alice's BP at 1. The only way you could possibly vote was betray. Picking ally when I knew you guys would pick betray would have been suicide.
you can't die. You've got 6 BP.
Well, maybe not immediately, no.
What a fucking stuck-up bitch! She's like, I'm own your point.
It's just
give me your point.
She'll just always say whatever the thing is that works for her favor in every situation.
I can't wait to see the ending where she dies.
Heck, not just mine. Everyone except Kay's.
What?
Didn't you think it through? Your vote was always gonna be betray. Let's say I was a raving lunatic and picked ally. What would happen to Kay's BP?
6 plus 3 would make 9.
See? Then it'd be game over. Life over. He'd open the number 9 door and blow this popsicle stand. And that'd leave us twisting in the wind, living out the rest of our miserable lives stuck in this place.
Well, they better work out some crazy math to figure out how to make literally everyone 9 then, or that's always going to be part of it.
You see? That's why I chose betray. I did it to save all our necks, including yours.
Alice gritted her teeth and scowled fiercely at Dio, apparently trying to think of a rebuttal before finally snorting indignantly and stalking away. Shortly thereafter, the warehouse was filled with the rumbling sound of the doors sliding shut.
Rumble, rumble.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the star round.
Oh, was that the last round no matter what, I wonder?
Yeah.
Star keys are required to open the gates.
Oh, wait, right. They're like moons and stars and suns.
Yeah, there's a sun, a moon, and a star.
I hear star and I'm like, oh shit, that's the big one. But it's just the icons on the cards.
There is no set limit on usage of the star keys.
Ooh. Wait, what?
That means they can keep doing the vote over and over again.
So we can just get to 9.
That's basically the announcer admitting that they don't have any more rooms.
Yeah.
It's like they can't send us in any more rooms after this round, so we just have to do the 999 game at that point.
The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
So at that point, you can just mathematically solve how to get everyone to 9.
Yeah. As many times as we want, huh? Then that means...
Wow, another rule reveal that changes everything. If only we could just know all the rules at the beginning.
We can play the AB game as many times as we want, right?
Hey, didn't Zero Jr. say something about this?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The pair and solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Yeah, you did. Can you guys all show me your bracelets? I want to see what all our colors and groups are this time. Within moments, a series of wrists were extended for me to examine.
A series of wrists. What a strangely uncomfortable clinical way of describing everyone putting their arm out.
A series of wrists were presented. Pair.
Yeah, I recognize these hands.
So Clover and Luna, that's us.
Is that us?
Yeah, we're green.
Why are we like the fourth person?
So
we're us.
Well, that means we're with either Alice or Fee. That's Fee, so she's purple. Oh, she's with Alice. So we're with Tenmyoji or Quark. Wait, is that us? Oh, the other one was Dio. That's us.
Is it?
Blue. Yeah.
I guess the muscle on his
the
arm.
muscle. I see. Luna and Clover are a cyan pair, and Fee and Alice are a magenta pair. The remaining 3 are all solos. Kay is red, Dio is green, and I'm blue.
So we're a solo blue.
Sweet. So how are the groups supposed to work for the next round? I think the next doors are going to be those white ones down in the floor B warehouse.
Yeah, I heard about those. Alice told me about them while we were here waiting for you and Clover. I think I've got them figured out.
Yeah, so lay it out for us. How are the groups going to shake it out this time? Fee nodded and began to explain. Option A. Tenmyoji and Quark yellow pair up with me, blue to open one door. Fee and Alice magenta pair up with Dio green to open another door. Luna and Clover cyan pair up with Kay red to open the last one.
Oh? Is there only one option?
Yes. No other combinations would be able to open the secondary doors. Admittedly, Tenmyoji and Quark aren't here for us to check, but I'm sure they're the yellow pair. If they weren't, then Sigma would be stuck without anybody he could pair up with.
Oh, God. I never thought I'd have to put up with Dio again.
Well, you just didn't think hard enough then.
Yum, got him. Got
Sooner or
him.
later, everybody puts up with Dio.
That's a really weird direction to go in, man.
That's a weird thing to say.
So, what should we do now? It looks like we have a lot of time until the primary doors open.
Wow.
Yeah, about 80 minutes.
I'm worried about Quark's condition. Those pods can't cure Radical 6. He still needs help.
Well, we don't have anything to lose, so we might as well look for that medicine. Excelavir, right?
Yeah. What about the rest of you?
Oh, I'll help.
As will I.
Me too.
Fine. I guess I can help.
What about you, Sigma?
Of course I'll help. What kind of jerk wouldn't I, or wouldn't?
We should split up and search.
After some discussion, Dio and Kay were assigned to the pantry, Luna and Alice to the treatment center, and Clover, Fee, and myself to the pressure exchange chamber.
Shall we regroup in the Floor B warehouse 10 minutes before the doors open?
We all nodded. Kay turned to Alice and Luna.
You are going to the treatment center, correct?
Yes.
Wait.
Then please remember to tell Tenmyoji where we intend to meet and when.
Okay.
Let's wait.
No one went to the garden.
The garden?
No one went to the garden.
Yeah, no, wait, yeah, that was this round, wasn't it?
Yes.
Or wait.
Yes.
No, that was last round.
Well, yeah, last round should have been the garden, but no one went to it. So there's more rooms that we're just not going to, and it's changing based on the pairings that we do. That's how there's 16. Otherwise, there's technically only 9 rooms.
Well, there might be ending rooms at the end, just like how one of the rooms was the tutorial at the beginning where we're in the AB room.
Oh yeah,
because that had one of the gold cases.
But I feel like at that point, why would it be giving you gold cases when you're already at the end of the game?
I think it just gives you a gold case every room, period.
Maybe.
What was the garden? Was that round 1?
No, round 2.
Round 2?
Yep.
I thought the garden was from this storyline.
No.
Oh, we were with Luna. That was the round 2 of the first story branch, huh?
So it changed rooms.
You're right.
There's different rooms you can go into based on what pairing and groups you're doing.
No, just one of them went into the garden.
No. It wasn't listed as one of the rooms we could go into and check, which means it's not one of the rooms we can go to.
I could have sworn that one of the other groups went into the garden this time.
No.
While we were in the medical place.
Nope.
Just like how when we were in the garden, somebody else was in the medical place.
No, someone went to the pressure treatment room. The other person's going to the clinical or the treatment room or whatever.
The one we were in.
Yeah, go to menu. And then go to log.
You mean go to the previous stuff?
Yeah, previous stuff. So look. Yeah. Pantry, treatment center, pressure exchange chamber. No fucking garden. How is that possible?
Wasn't the pantry from the first rooms?
No.
Was it from
That's the lounge.
I don't know what's going on.
Remember when we pull the switch and then a door opens up? There's 3 doors every time. So every time we pull a switch, depending on what group we are, will depend on which door opens up.
You think there's not always the same 3 rooms?
No.
The same 3 teams?
I think there's different rooms. Because remember, we're missing the chemical room, where Quark found the original cure for the Radical 6, remember?
We found... Oh yeah, we did find the cure for the Radical 6.
But it was in the chemical room, which is not an available option to go to right now.
Oh, this is weird.
So each...
But the treatment center was there.
Yes.
Last time.
So each group that splits up, there's... Okay, so of the 3 groups that split up, there's apparently 3 rooms that each of them can go into, or 2 rooms that each of them can go into?
Either we're misinterpreting something, or this is wildly confusing if the rooms completely change from run to run. Huh.
You must also remember to bring Quark with you. I am concerned about removing him from the pod, but it can't be helped. Without Quark's bracelet, Sigma and Tenmyoji will be unable to open the secondary door.
Right. Good. Looks like we got all that straightened out. Let's go.
With a final nod to one another, we split up, each team heading in a different direction.
We get down there, and Tenmyoji and Quark are dead.
Probably. There's almost certainly a dead end in the story. Hello, weird room. Can't wait to solve you later. Scuba gear room. Oh, pressure exchange, because scuba gear.
Yeah.
It's an airlock.
So this is the pressure exchange chamber.
No, this is the prep room. There are 2 levels. The actual pressure exchange chamber is downstairs.
How do you know that?
Alice told me. She was one of the people who investigated this room.
Did you talk to her when you were waiting for us back in the warehouse?
It's kind of weird that people aren't investigating the rooms that they already were in, of all places.
Yeah.
Just because they know more about them?
Yeah.
Well, let's head downstairs then.
Good idea.
Should we put suits on, or...?
What does PEC mean?
PEC?
Yeah. Oh, pressure exchange center. Oh, it's telling us. Oh, it's telling us where we are right now. Huh.
So this is the real thing.
Seems like it.
Why do they have something like this in here?
Well, this is just what Alice told me, but
Apparently the pressure inside the facility was a lot higher than the pressure outside. That was part of a system designed to keep the virus from getting in.
Wait, what? This is like a bunker to prevent the virus? This is like a doomsday bunker? How do you know? Wait, Alice, how do you know it's a doomsday bunker?
It's possible. If it's higher pressure inside than outside, that means that air would only escape outward, which means it would stop an airborne virus from coming inward, because air would never go inward.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, like, how does anybody know where we are?
Maybe there's documents around here that explain it.
It did mean, however, that we need to go through a decompression process in order to get outside.
remember all those suits along the wall of the prep room? Those keep you from getting infected. We won't even be able to enter the pressure exchange chamber if we don't have them on.
I see. Whoa. Then that newspaper article was right?
Unfortunately, that seems pretty likely.
So the air out there is teeming with Radical 6.
Yeah.
Something's been bothering me.
Is it the part where we're at a pressure exchange chamber where the purpose is to go outside and they're talking about going in there, but the real reason is we can't go out there because the whole premise is that we have to go to the 9 door?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like when we found the submarine bay in the other game and we're like, what? Isn't this supposed to be a specific exit?
Yeah.
Then somebody stabbed us all to death.
And then exited?
Aren't you saying that if we put on those suits, we can go into the pressure exchange chamber and go outside, right?
Oh. No, we can't do that. The door beyond the pressure exchange chamber is locked up tight.
It's not locked, it's welded. It's literally welded shut.
Damn it!
It definitely looks welded.
Just one door between us and freedom.
Well, if you look at it that way, it's the same as the number 9 door.
Okay, yeah, but,
Whatever. We need to be focusing on finding that Excelivir.
Why are you
Quark
such a
needs
bitch?
it.
Yeah, you're right.
I'll go look around upstairs. You two take this floor, all right?
got it.
Okay.
Clover pushes us into the airlock.
We looked everywhere we could think of, but turned up nothing.
She turns down the compression until we finally just expand like a balloon and explode. Like Total Recall.
Eventually I couldn't keep my mouth shut any longer. Hey, what do you think the deal is with this stuff about the world being infested with some crazy virus? A pandemic seems like it would make the news, but I don't remember hearing anything.
That fucking face. Every time.
Wait a minute, you mentioned it, didn't you? Back when Dio was asking questions? We were in the infirmary. It was right after Quark lost it.
Any of you guys heard anything about any sort of viral pandemic?
Well, no. But
And then Alice said,
I have heard rumors about a virus being used as a bioweapon.
so what's the rumor she was talking about? I got the feeling you and Alice were talking about the same thing. Clover, what do you know? What are you and Alice anyway? I heard you guys belong to some sort of organization, but what is it? Clover was quiet for a long time. She bit her thumbnail and looked down at the floor. Then finally she lifted her head and met my eyes.
fine. I think I can trust you. Just don't tell Alice, okay?
All right,
Promise?
promise. Clover nodded and began to talk. I listened with rapt attention, at a complete loss for words. Here's what she said.
I really thought they were just gonna not say. When they're like, oh my god, I was completely lost for words, I thought they were just gonna like end it and not tell us. I'm like, you fucks.
Alice and I are agents of SOIS, which is under the jurisdiction of the Department of Defense.
That is not a well-drawn eagle.
It's not a well-budgeted part of the...
God damn.
SOIS stands for Special Office of Internal Security, and we're an elite intelligence division that investigates potentially disruptive or dangerous elements, such as domestic or foreign terrorists, radical political splinter groups, and religious organizations with extreme agendas that could pose a threat to the state or citizenry. Our existence hasn't been made public, so there are only a few people who even know we exist. Like our equal.
She got into that in a year?
Yeah.
Like, a year ago she was in a Nonary game. Was she already in this?
And she was underage.
As like a 15-year-old or whatever?
So like, as a 15-year-old child, she got into a secret organization that didn't technically exist.
Well, people don't know exists.
People don't know it. Well, that means it technically doesn't exist. When the citizens don't know, it's for a reason.
No, it technically definitely exists.
You're probably wondering how I even got involved in something like that, huh? Well... It started when I met Alice.
I guess I should say this. This is saying hi now.
I guess.
I told you that I played the Nonary game twice before, right? Well, this was after the second time. So about a year ago, we just escaped, and we're all stuffed into this SUV barreling across the desert. I was driving, and that's when I saw her. All right, we're going to this now. Good to have context. Why were you dressed that way?
Wait, why were you dressed, like, actually not skimpy compared to your outfit now?
The costumes are amazing. What the fuck?
Like, she's dressed...
How does your skirt... How does dress skirt, whatever, how does it butt that way? How does that butt do?
Look,
like,
Keith,
what is that butt?
Can I ask you to kindly leave the butt alone? The butt
I don't understand the butt, though. How does it... It looks like she's literally naked. And they just drew some lines over her naked body to be like, yeah, she's pretending to wear a dress.
You don't need to understand how a butt works, you just need to appreciate it.
Is it a transparent dress? Is that why there's so much butt crack? Like, so much butt crack.
No, it's just a very tight dress.
Not only is there so much butt crack, there's shadow under the butt crack, because it's even tight under the butt crack. How does she walk? Is skin tight all the way into her taint somehow, but also flowing behind her? Like,
well, it's not into her taint, just into her rectum.
It is, because under her butt cheeks and the bottom part, you can see shadow from where it's folding under and going under her skin, like following her skin all the way in that direction. Even though an inch away from that, it's flowing backwards, like it's loose in the wind.
I'm sure she has underwear on.
No dress has ever looked like that ever. It's impossible. Nah. It's completely impossible. It can't be shaped that way.
It can.
It doesn't make any sense.
Trust me.
I could buy the butt crack on the top half. It's once it goes under the butt cheeks and then goes into the taint that I'm like, how is it still fused to her skin? And then an inch later, it's like shooting out. Like, it'd have to be like a leotard, but also a dress at the same time, and it doesn't make any sense. It can't just be both.
Unsure. Could be half latex, half cotton. So,
Alice. She was standing next to the road with her thumb out. Only a year ago. I'll remind you, this only happened a year ago, and we're already in a secret government agency. I'm 12. She was already working for the SOIS, and she'd been on her way out to the building we'd been trapped in as part of her investigation. But on the way there, her car had broken down. We offered to give her a ride, of course. After she got in, we started talking, and it turned out that Alice had gotten a tip that the terrorists she was after were in a building we'd been trapped in. So she was already in the organization that happened to be about her. Is she aware of the fact that the weird fake thing we were in was full of documents about her identity? Is she weirded out by that at all?
Nah.
It's a really fucked up weird coincidence. What the fuck?
Remember, she's trying to get revenge for her dead dad.
We couldn't see how us playing the Nonary game had anything to do with terrorists. But Alice had a suggestion. Maybe the two people who trapped you in there are the terrorists.
What?
Right. small child who didn't exist for 10 years is a terrorist. Okay. So,
what? Is there even government records she exists? She was a ghost like just an hour ago, or like just 9 hours ago.
At this point, Akane's resume is point number 1, ghost. Point number 2, terrorist. She's a ghost terrorist. Now the story makes perfect sense.
Now I see why the SOIS isn't like
ghost terrorist.
Yeah, now I see why SOIS isn't public knowledge. They're chasing ghost terrorists.
You don't understand. Zero Escape's the best written trilogy in the history of video games with its ghost terrorist.
No one says that. Everyone just thinks it.
That didn't seem very likely to us, but we were chasing after them anyway, so we decided to bring Alice with us.
That's a terrible idea.
As opposed to leave her in the desert to die. Wait, how is she there?
What, Alice?
Yeah.
Her car. She drove.
But they picked her up and they hitchhiked.
Yeah?
Why was she standing in the middle of the desert nowhere near any car, just in a random spot, alone?
Because they needed a good shot of her ass.
In bad clothes for that. Oh, they're just desperately trying to explain what was going on at the end of 999, where she was definitely not supposed to be a secret agent, and was definitely supposed to be the mummy from the main game, because they had no plan going into this trilogy, and they're just making shit up as they go along. Nothing means anything. They're like, oh yeah, Pharaoh Lady's there. Isn't that a cute little thing? Like, oh shit, we gotta make a sequel now. She's a secret agent. She was standing in the middle of the desert for no reason, with no sunblock, and weird makeup, and a skin-tight dress, and let's just ignore all the other stuff about who she is from the documents. It's a surprise. So, unfortunately, we didn't find them. How? Did they have a faster car?
They left like an hour before you.
No, they didn't.
Well, they left like 5 minutes before you.
Yeah, it's a very different amount of time. I guess we stopped for Alice for a second, but still, like...
We also took time to get into
they're like,
the car.
We couldn't find her in this giant open air. Do you know how long it takes to get out of line of sight in a fucking open-ass desert?
No, because the Earth is round, Keith, not flat like your stupid mind thinks so, where you can actually see people on the horizon, you lunatic.
It takes a long time for someone to descend beyond the horizon. Unfortunately, we didn't find them. As far as we know, they're still out there now, on the run. Or they're dead. Either way, they're still out there. Anyway, we were taken back to SOIS headquarters and put into custody.
What?
All of them?
Wait, what? Why?
Wow, new story about where Junpei ended up and everyone. They've been imprisoned. I guess I thought we had to be some kind of connection between us being kidnapped and the terrorist group that they were investigating. But they must not have found anything, because after a few days of questioning, they let us go. We all went home and returned to our lives. Okay. But things didn't go back to the way they'd been. My mom got real worried about me and my brother, since we'd been gotten kidnapped twice now. My mom was really worried about our dual kidnapping twice. I mean,
that's like the most. That is the most genuine, like, reasonable, real reaction I've ever heard of.
It's so understated.
It's just the fact that it's thrown so nonchalantly.
Like our mom was horrified about the curse our family was befallen upon. It's like, yeah, both of our children were kidnapped twice.
Wait, she hired bodyguards for you, and you still got kidnapped again?
Yeah, they didn't do a good job. My mom got real worried about me and my brother since we've gotten kidnapped twice now, so she hired bodyguards for us.
Oh, your brother's blind.
Oh, I haven't told you about my brother, have I? He's super awesome, for one. And he was in both the last two Nonary games, too. So anyway, we'd been grabbed twice, but the people behind the two Nonary games were totally different. That didn't matter to my mom, though, so after all these huge men in black suits followed me and my brother everywhere. It was awful. We were always being watched. People would look at us funny because we were being followed around by a bunch of creepy-looking guys. I couldn't stand it.
No, Clover, people are looking at you weird because you literally don't wear clothes and your brother is blind. And he dresses like he's some kind of prince.
He does dress really strangely, and I don't think we were ever canonically given an explanation that was like...
Not his clothes?
Yeah, like 7. Like, that's just apparently just what he dresses like.
Yeah. So I think it's you people look incredibly weird.
Oh my god, maybe that's what their mom dresses him up like because he can't see. And he dresses him up like the way you dress up like a doll that you own.
I feel like Clover would say something like, brother, you look like a...
You think Clover would say something?
Yeah, she'd be like...
She has no clue.
She was willing to kill a child.
Have you seen the way that she dresses?
That's true.
She's baffling. Actually, she wasn't that baffling. Last time she was just like...
She was wearing a sweater last time.
wearing like K-pop fashion or something.
Yeah.
It's not... It was just whatever.
She was just wearing like booty shorts and a very long
She just
sweater.
had like palm ropes and stuff.
Well, she just had like the palm, like
She had
the
poofy things.
She just had the pom earrings. Or no, not pom earrings. She had
she had headphones, didn't she?
Yeah, she had the pom headphones.
She had palms on her pull strings on her jacket.
But she was also wearing a jacket. But like I think she had like
there was just a bunch of soft pink shit everywhere.
Yeah.
But now she's like, what are those clothes?
Now she's a stripper.
That's why we thought it'd been 10 years.
Yeah.
Because we're like, that can't be 1 year later. What the fuck?
I mean, Keith, when you go through 2 traumatic experiences
you have
back
a
to back,
hyper-controlling mom that covers you with bodyguards but doesn't care that you dress that way?
maybe that's why your daughter
As a
keeps
minor?
getting kidnapped.
She's still a minor, right?
Yeah.
Just when I thought I'd finally be free, all that was waiting for me was another kind of prison.
Shut up.
The only time I was really happy was when I was hanging out with my brother.
Gross.
So we were talking it over one day, and we decided to leave. Like, run away. So we did it. After that, we lived on our own. Harp. I worked in a cafe, and he composed music. I'm sorry, they needed special bodyguards to stop them from getting kidnapped, and then they were able to run away.
Yeah, these are really bad bodyguards.
He plays the harp, and he started writing this kind of new agey music. It got kind of popular, so we didn't have to worry too much about surviving.
New agey harp music?
Yeah, apparently he's immediately a hit musician in the 1 year?
Yeah.
Damn. Sometimes we'd play at little venues like coffee houses and stuff, and his fans would show up and listen to him play and cry. Wow, so the backstory between the games is matching up with how the games in universe treats time.
Yeah.
Which is, it means nothing. It means whatever the fuck they feel like it should mean. It sounds like a fucking decade passed. He became a hit person that had venues? Every venue takes time to plan. Or some of them would meet on their own and recite stuff from the book he'd written and play his songs.
He wrote a book too?
Did he do all this beforehand and then just happen to come back to his normal life?
No, because remember Snake is just like perfect. He's a true prince.
Snake is someone's irritating OC.
Yeah.
I know that sounds kind of like weird and culty, but they do that stuff on their own, okay? My brother doesn't have anything to do with it. He's too cool to be the encourager.
My brother
of the
isn't
weird
culty as part of an organization that investigates cults.
And that time that he was dressed like a cult member.
Yeah, dressed like a leader of a cult.
Anyway, we did that for a while, and then one day Alice showed up. I need your help, she told us. We need people who can do what they want, can do what you can do. Is that how you do it?
I guess. We just need people to do what you want.
I forgot to add the at the end. So we went to the location she gave us, and it turned out to be the headquarters of SOIS, where they'd taken us after the second Nonary game. I'm sorry, do what we do? What does that mean? What did we do that they needed access to our skills of? Playing harp?
No.
And working at a cafe?
What? No, our stupid telekinetic powers.
Oh, they're right, the Esper stuff.
God, what the fuck? What else do they possibly have? Yeah, they need Snake's blindness.
The Esper stuff hasn't been coming up so much in this game, so I kind of forgot. And I was like, what skill have they been showing in this year that made them so fucking hireable? They put us in a room with about a dozen or so other people who were all about the same age as us.
Wait, this company is...
Wait, they're just doing a Nonary game?
Doing another Nonary game! God damn it!
Oh my god. A bunch of them look familiar, too.
God damn it.
They're the people from the childhood one?
Yes.
It only took me a moment to realize how we knew each other. They were the kids from the first Nonary game.
Holy
every
fuck,
single
they
one
literally
of
just
them.
kidnapped every child again.
Except Santa.
Well, except Santa.
And June.
And June.
But also there's like a dozen people. Oh, because they're from both rooms.
They went...
Because there was 18 people.
So they went again, and we're like, we're gonna grab all the kids.
Did they get Nona again?
Oh no.
Is Lotus psyched about that? Did she sign a release form? Like, yeah, sure, just take me back into the thing I almost died in. I trust this.
Well, aren't her kids older now?
I don't know.
Yeah, because
I mean, all of them are older now.
Well, they're Lotus's age, or they're
not Lotus's age.
They're
like
Clover's
40.
age.
Yeah, 1 year older.
1 year older.
Yeah, but it's still like shoot. If I was Lotus, I wouldn't trust anyone to put my kids back in a Nonary game for any reason.
If I was any of the Nonary game participants, I wouldn't be trusted to put back into a Nonary game. Like,
Jesus.
What kind of freaking masochist goes back into a death game?
Oh my god. The economy. We were all excited to see each other again.
Were we?
We were hugging and shaking hands and stuff.
And then the S burst.
And then Alice walked in. The whole room went quiet. She walked up to the podium and looked around the room, making eye contact with each one of us. These are the most fucking verbose-ass ways to tell really basic stories. Like, holy shit. Like, they tell stories the same way an author tells a story. Like, they just switched to writing their, like, actual book-style writing as if it's somebody's monologue dialogue and didn't think that was weird. They're like the same way that like fucking I'm reading about Geralt in the Witcher books. Like that's how this is written, but that's not how anyone tells a story because it's obnoxious as fuck to be that detailed.
Yeah, no one talks realistically.
And then they looked at everyone one by one, and I was wearing a blue pom-pom that day, and it only took me a moment to realize who they all were. Just say like, oh, they put me in a room with these people again. It's like, but no, it's like they had to do a whole page just to explain they were in a room with the people from the first Nonary game. Right now, a terrorist organization is preparing for a major attack. They plan to trigger a viral pandemic. If they succeed, they will strike a massive blow against all of humanity, not just any one country. It's possible that we, as a species, will die out completely.
What?
We are doing our best to prevent this, but we need your help. What? You are what we call espers. You have the ability to access the morphogenic field. We need that. I'm guessing you don't know what any of that is, but but basically we can do this thing that's kind of like telepathy. I mean, this isn't really telepathy, but that's probably the closest thing, okay? Espers can resonate their consciousness with another person through this thing called the morphogenetic field. The purpose of the first Nonary game was to research that ability. So they kidnapped kids who had the potential to do it and threw them into the game. Alice has gathered up all the kids from the experiment. Well, I mean, it had been 9 years since it happened, so we weren't really kids anymore. Anyway, everybody she'd brought in was an Esper. That included me and my brother, of course. I bet you think I'm just making all this up, huh?
God, I wish.
I don't blame you. It is pretty crazy. I mean, I was even starting to forget I could do that stuff. Alright. So when I heard Alice's story, I was like, screw that. I was trying to move on with my life, and now some shady government creeps wanted me to use some weird ability I had for them? No way. I wasn't even sure I could do it anymore, so they killed my brother.
Well, then she becomes useless.
Massive turn. Some of the others felt differently, though, and they told Alice they'd do it. It was a job after all, and most people wouldn't turn down a salary like that. But, oh right, I forgot to tell you. She told us how much that they'd pay us if we helped. It was a lot. More wealth than you could imagine.
No, that's not possible.
It's easy to imagine numbers that are higher. You just think of the next number. That's how numbers work.
So like $50?
Yeah. Oh, shit. But I was still totally doing it. Totally against doing it. My brother told me he'd go along with whatever I decided. So I decided we were leaving.
Damn, bitch!
Oh, shit. A couple days passed, and then Alice showed up at our apartment.
Wait, are you living in Japan or America?
I don't know. She didn't waste time. The people behind the first Nonary game might have been part of the terrorist organization Alice and the SOIS were after. The first Nonary game?
The people behind the first Nonary
Cradle Pharmaceuticals are the terrorists?
I guess so.
Wasn't that, she asked, something that I might want to know more about?
No, you pushy bitch.
That got me curious.
What? It did?
My brother, too. But the clincher was what Seven said up to us. What's his real name? Why are you still calling him Seven? You've known him for a year now, as opposed to that one day where he was 7.
I think they only know him for that.
He was one of the guys that got abducted with us for the second Nonary game, or maybe we're just talking about something that's happened that time. She called him on her phone right then and there, and handed it to us. You guys are the only people who can do this. We don't know where Junpei is. He's gone off to travel the world looking for Akane. I haven't been able to get a hold of him. Please, Just do me a favor and help Alice out. Junpei equals like 7. Wait. Alright. It's weird
Okay.
phrasing. Like 7, another participant from the second Nonary game. Akane, one of the people behind the second Nonary game. This is the worst way to tell the story.
I hate
This could not be more inelegant of a way to tell the story. It's like everyone that didn't play the first game is just like, the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
And why do I care? 7 was a Japanese policeman, which is probably how Alice got in touch with him. Also, what are those asterisks? The asterisks seem to suggest that those notes only exist for us, right?
Yeah.
So that means if those notes only exist for us, that means that Clover's not explaining that to Sigma. Sigma still doesn't know who 7 and Junpei and Akane are, because she didn't say that. Otherwise, she would have said that in prose instead of weird parentheticals that with equal signs and asterisks. Like what the? I think they forgot that this is Clover's dialogue, and they're just writing whatever the fuck they feel like now.
They're just telling a story.
Oh my god.